As I was speaking yesterday about the Holy Spirit and the work of the call of God, and how the Holy Spirit will speak to somebody through their heart, or maybe different things that happen. Maybe it's a sermon they may hear, and they may be encouraged by that, or however the Holy Spirit works, speaks to somebody about the call of God. But then the next aspect of that is that the different types of ministry. There are so many different things that happens in ministry. Of course, there's the pastor. There's the radio evangelist. There's the evangelist that goes to churches and preaches. There's the ministry of going to the prisons, working with orphans, missionaries who go to foreign soil. And then if you say, well, I feel like I'm called to go to be a missionary, well, the question is where? And I remember a radio interview that I did with a friend of mine named McLean Hawthorne, who ended up being in India for almost 30 years. The last I heard of him, he was still there. And on the radio broadcast that we did together, the talk show, he talked about the whole process of how that Brother Dunham at the Liberty Bible College, the same college, of course, that I attended, and Brother Dunham said, well, why don't you go do like a month thing, or maybe a week trip or something like that to some area, so they kind of get a sense of where it is God may be calling you. But all of that is things that the Holy Spirit will set up and equip, and He'll use that to begin to show you where He would have you to serve, what area you may be able to serve. I have had people on the radio talk show who have told me that they are now involved in different types of ministry. And if you'd have asked them 2 years ago if they would have thought that they would ever be doing what they're doing, they said, no, absolutely not. It never crossed my mind. But yet, somewhere along the line, the Holy Spirit came to them, began to show them something, and that heart of compassion, it wells up inside of a person. And the next thing you know, they're going in a direction that they never saw before. But then on the other hand, there are people who, they felt the call of God at a young age and never responded to it. And it's kind of like it had gone dormant in their heart. And then all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit would just come and begin to renew that and begin to stir that up within them. And then they just get to the point where they just cannot resist it anymore. They just come to the point to where they say, I've just got to surrender to that. And it's just amazing when I hear these stories. People who come here on the radio show tell me these things. And I see how the Holy Spirit works. And it really is a precious thing. Because one, it tells us that the Holy Spirit is drawing people into ministry to go and to preach the gospel. But He's also very tender to the humans involved in this. And I'm just so thankful for the Holy Spirit and the way that He worked in my life to bring me to a place where I'm sitting right now talking to you on the radio. It was quite a process. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.